guys! So today I'm going to walk you guys through my paperless workflow in university. So I'm a big advocate of reducing the waste we produce, and after 2.5 years of going paperless, I believe that my current workflow is pretty efficient and definitely helped me pull through and improve my grades during my final year as an economics student in University College London. This video will be split into 4 sections, the first one being required reading, the second one being in lectures, third, post-lecture formatting, and the fourth one, summarizing your notes. But before we proceed with the video, I also wanted to highlight the 2 apps that I regularly use when I was in university, which are GoodNotes 5, the one at the bottom here, and also Margin Note 3, this one right next to it. Unfortunately, both apps are not free, but personally I felt like they are worth the investment. With GoodNotes 3, I've had them for a good 3 years and it's never disappointed me so far. Since that has been addressed, we can now move on to the first section, which is tackling your required reading. So there are 2 ways that you can go about this, and the first one being tapping out the key concepts linearly while you read. This can be done on either Microsoft Word or OneNote, or another option that you can use is using the mind mapping app, which I mentioned before, which was Margin Note 3, to help you extract the content from the reading and present it in a way that works best for you. So Margin Note comes in handy because it's essentially a mind mapping app. I'm not going to go into the details of the app too much, but essentially what you can do is open a document or several documents and use the text selection tool to highlight words from the PDF you have uploaded into text boxes that you can later link up to turn into a mind map or even just flashcards. This was helpful because it allowed me to have a general overview of the chapter, making it easier for me to follow the lecture. So this brings us to our second section, which is in lectures. So some people prefer writing them on the slides themselves, but I personally prefer writing my own set of notes on Microsoft Word. I stress this because I wasted a lot of my time in my first and second year getting creative way too early. I ended up not having enough time to go through the content again and again and ensuring I had remembered all the concepts. I always found lectures to be either really hard to focus or that I couldn't copy down a concept quickly enough for me to go through them again later. And so what helped was typing down my own notes in bullet point form, which I could then refer back to. So after your lecture comes the post-lecture formatting. For this part, you consolidate the first section and the second section. Again, the idea is to make your main reference material. I usually just update the in-lecture notes with content from the slides if I didn't copy them quickly enough. This was usually the equations that I had left out or the content that was already explained in the handouts quite thoroughly. Also, this is when I would incorporate all the information from the required readings that I had extracted. The reason why I did this was because these notes at this stage would contain anything and everything that is relevant to the topic, so you wouldn't have to go back and forth between the slides, your notes, and the reading material. Just the source. Additionally, I would update these notes as much as I need to, especially after tutorials and after doing any further reading to reflect anything new I've learned. Finally, the last section is summarizing your notes. I usually do this after a whole term has ended because I would need to go through the material one more time to summarize the key points that I would need to know, especially to contain what is relevant for the exam. Often what I include would be key definitions, derivations that I have to remember, which is often the case for almost any economics module, key graphs. I found this to be very important for modules that have a section dedicated to testing key concepts in the course, as did my second year macroeconomics module. Unfortunately, I did not do this for the exam in my second year and then found it hard to recall each and every relevant graph that was expected of me to draw. So for the module Economics of Labor, doing this really aided me because I just needed to imagine these notes for me to recall which graph was relevant for each question. I know some people would say that this is an unnecessary step, but I think it definitely aided my memory, especially when it was hard to navigate through the content that was presented in university. So the first pro for this is that it works as a flashcard. So you can use this to test your memory, and more importantly, it allows you to see the bigger picture of what the topic contains. Also, it allows you to draw links between the topics and the subtopics a little clearer as well. Secondly, You can also study on the go with these. I often just forwarded these notes to my phone so I could read them while I was commuting somewhere, which was pretty crucial during the exam season because you want to utilize all the time you have in the best way possible. I found them especially useful when I was making my journey to my exams because UCL has their exams all the way in Zone 3 in Excel or something like that. And so the last pro, which I feel is probably the best part about summarizing your notes, is that you can actually get really creative with them and use whatever note-taking method that works best for you. This could be colors, shapes, drawings, acronyms. For me, I found that colors were best, especially when I needed to differentiate between one topic and another. And so what helped for me was I would color code them. So for example, the topic of migration was red in color for me, although this one isn't like complete. This one was like a deeper red than the one on the left. While for the tax topic, which I completed, what I did was I made it blue so that in my exam all I needed to remember was the color blue, and it really helped because there was a lot of things that you had to really just dish out in the exam, and for me to just be able to imagine this graph and just remember the contents and where everything was laid out really helped. Well, I guess that's it for my paperless university workflow and how it helped me navigate through the messy stream of resources that you get in university. I just want to wish you guys good luck, and I really hope this helps someone. Bye!